What is going on, everybody? Good afternoon. Happy Wednesday. You know what that means. This is another live edition of Let's Talk NXT here on the Around the Point Network. You would have thought after last week's meltdown here that I would have pulled the plug on the show, and that was the plan. But here we are. Here we are once again live here on the channel. Again, I wasn't going to do this, but I was talking to, you know what? That's not who we are. We got to continue at this. So here we are. We are live. Now, I am alone today. I am alone. I am doing a solo show today. Big Mike was supposed to be here today, but he had outside obligations. And again, it is what it is. Hopefully, he'll be back tomorrow for something about Dynamite. But if you are new here to the Around the Point Network, please hit that subscribe button down below. Give this video a big old thumbs up, and share it throughout your entire social media platforms and all that fun stuff. Again, I wasn't going to do this, but we got to finish strong. But just to get you guys informed here, tomorrow there'll be 2 streams going on this channel. Tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern, Caden will be going live here on the channel with predictions for New Japan Pro Wrestling's Battle in the Valley at 1 p.m. Eastern time. For all my New Japan heads out there and all that stuff. All right. LOL, Steve. This episode is going to be amazing. Well, thank you for saying that, Caden. I didn't know you can be in the chat and drive at the same time. Kind of weird, but hey, it is what it is. But if you are new here, once again, hit that subscribe button down below. Give this video a big old thumbs up and share it through social media. Follow me on Twitter at HeelSteven. In case you missed it, this past Monday, we were live with Steve's Kitchen, where we talked about everything that went down with Jay White and the fix regarding UFC 284 and the Super Bowl. Yesterday, we were live with the Raw Rundown. And now here we are with Let's Talk NXT. And I'll be honest, hey Dolores, how you doing? I want to take this chance to thank the good brothers over at True Heel Heat. Yesterday, myself and Big Mike filled in for the brothers. And we're part of NX3. I believe it was episode 94 of NX3. And we did the watch along on their channel. And it kind of helped with it comes to this review, right? I'll be honest. Overall, you got Anthony, we got Romeo in the chat. Thank you for covering last night. Sounded like a newsworthy show. If y'all want to be on with Josh tonight for Dynamite, let me know. We'll let you know. Did you do your poem? No, I did not. I did not do the poem. I wanted to, but it's like, you know what? Nah, that's not, if you will. But I hope everyone in general had a good Valentine's Day. I hope they did. I hope you all did. But I gotta say, it did help. The watch along did help because it got me into this review, right? I thought NXT overall, I thought the show was solid. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh my god, this show is amazing, because let's be honest here, NXT, there's something that's missing with the show. But that's just me, of course. For some of you, that show may be amazing, and it's fine also. But let me know in the chat your thoughts on the show from last night. What did you like? What did you not like? And all that stuff. And we'll read it here in the chat. Now, I'm going to try to knock this out in under 45 minutes. Let's hope and pray that we get there, all right? If we can knock this out under 45 minutes. Steve, the show was bad. But yeah, but homie, you tuned in like literally an hour in. and you'd love the main event, so don't cap now. All right. What's going on, Safet? What's going on with you, brother? Hope all is well with you. The show opened up with Grayson Waller versus um Tyler Bate. It's great to see Tyler Bate. It's good to see him back. I know he had visa issues, so hence why he wasn't around for a minute ever since Worlds Collide. Um, I thought their match was a solid opener. Nothing to go crazy about here. You got to remember, Grayson Waller was suspended right after going off against after going off on Shawn Michaels, uh, following the media call at what was that pay per view? New Year's Evil, right? And exactly, Palu. Yes, thank you for mentioning that. The new Ring of Honor show debuts on March 2nd. Funny enough, Caden will be there. Caden will be there. The motherfucker you see in the chat right now, El Pelucón ese, yeah, he will be at the show. All right. Um, but there was that. I mean, good back and forth. Nothing to go crazy about, like I said. But when it was all said and done, Grayson Waller did not win. That kind of shocked me, right? But it also played into what we will see later on in the night. But once again, it was good to see Tyler Bate once again back in NXT and get a W against a former number one contender like Grayson Waller. After this, we see backstage. We see backstage. Um, let's see here. Um, let's see here. We see footage of Josh Briggs and Brooke Jensen. They're doing like a little pep talk. Um, was it Brooke Jensen's going on a date with Kiana James on Valentine's Day, and he wants his goal to happen tonight. He wants to get his kiss. He wants to go all the way. Right, it's his first time. He's never been there. They're hyping him up, and then what's her name? What's her freaking name here? Gosh darn it! What was it? Let me see here. Let me see. What's this girl's name? Fallon Henley. I almost called her the wrong name. I almost did. Fallon Henley comes in and she wants to tell him. She wants to tell Jensen about what's going on, all that stuff, right? And we find out later on, oh my god, it was foul, right? But again, Brooke Jensen is, he's crazy. He's obsessed with Kiana James, so he doesn't want, she can't do it, right? She can't tell him. So from there, we go on to we're gonna hear from JC Jane, right? And as we're watching this, as she's making her way towards the ring, you see there's like a camera thing back behind her. They're all going into, I guess, Gorilla or whatever the fuck it may be backstage. And you see Shawn Michaels and Grayson Waller going at each other once again, yelling at each other. Well, Grayson Waller, that is, going off on Shawn Michaels. And this leads to him to get escorted out of the building. Now, many people are insinuating that Shawn Michaels going to wrestle one more match, possibly at Stand and Deliver, right? People are talking about, dude, like it's going to happen, like it's going to be this amazing thing. Well, it's cool that you feel that way. Because honestly,
I'm afraid I've got some bad news. I knew it. I love when he does that.
It ain't happening. That's not going to happen. I'm sorry. I'm good. I don't need to see it. I really don't. But we get JC Jane making her way to the ring. She talks about everything that happened last week when she kicked Gigi Dolan in the face. Got her injured, right? Like she left a mark on her face, concussion, what have you. The end of Toxic Attraction. She went on, talked about how she was the star. She referenced that Gigi Dolan was the Janetti, right? All that stuff, carrying her, whatever, what have you. I know there's a lot of folks that will say, oh, it's not it with JC Jane. It's not it. I'm not feeling it. She's terrible. I don't want to be that guy. I want to wait a couple more weeks until I can get a full assessment. I want to be fair here. I want to be fair. I want to give it at least 3 more weeks, 2 to 3 more weeks to see where things go before I can sit here and tell you whether it's it or not. I think that's fair. Okay. Um, Palu writes here, the JT Jane promo did nothing for me. She needs to work on her mic skills. Hi, everyone. I don't blame you, sir. It is terrible, brother. Fair enough, fair enough. But again, I don't want to sit here and just crap on JC Jane. I don't. I feel like she has a look, right? But I want to wait a couple more weeks to give an assessment, whether or not it's it or not, in my opinion. But I kind of get the feeling where this is gonna go. A program with Gigi Dolan. So there you go. Something for the women to do, right? So from there, we get Tia Hale and Tiffany Stratton. Now backstage, Tia Hale is still like feeling some kind of way. Last week, the schism kidnapped her. There's something to her, right? So she's petrified now, right? And they're talking about calling the match off, canceling the match. We don't gotta go. We don't gotta go through this match. It doesn't have to happen at all. Does not have to happen. Right? We don't gotta do this. But she says, no, that's to chase you away. We don't quit, right? We don't quit at all. We go through the match. Let's go to the match. So we get the match. Tiffany Stratton and Tia Hale. Tiffany Stratton is fucking amazing. I'm not saying she is this gifted wrestler. She's not, but I'm saying she's amazing in the sense of when she started to where she's at now. It's night and day. I think her moonsault is fucking chef's kiss. The way she jumps on all three ropes, on three corners, right? The turnbuckles to do the damn moonsault, right? That being said, this match, I'm gonna be honest, it was there, nothing to go crazy about. Again, because there's a moment in the match where Tia Hale has like the advantage, but then she gets scared because she see the members of Schism, right? And she's petrified, and that cost her the match. I'm gonna get to this in a little bit, Palu. I'm gonna get to this in a little bit. So there was that, right? Tiffany Stratton got the win, and I kind of get the feeling, yes, it makes sense because I feel, and I don't know how many of you feel about this, but she is next in line. She is going to be the one to challenge Roxanne Perez, come stand and deliver. And you want to make her look, you want to give her some wins, throw some bodies in there, and I'm all for that. Give her the build, and let's see where they go. All right. Um, After this, right? You see what's it called? You see what some show about Big Body Javi and Ivy Nile and Tatum Paxi Valentine's. So you kind of whatever. That was whatever, right? Um and you also see Isla Dawn's voice comes out from somewhere to taunt Tatum Paxley and to refuse to stand on her own or whatever. And she and Ivy leave. That was again whatever segment. We get Damien Kemp versus Axiom 1-on-1. I thought they had a very fun match. Good back and forth. Um, I like the aggressiveness of Damon Kemp. To think again, he is the brother of Gable Stevenson, right? Uh, Axiom is pretty good too. But I felt like again, this match for what it was worth, it was good to showcase the aggressiveness of Damon Kemp, and he got the win. He beat up Axiom, and honestly, the way this is going, I would not mind seeing Damon Kemp challenge for the North American Championship. By the time we get to stand and deliver, or maybe after that, we'll see. We'll see. Because I know that Wesley is still doing these open challenges, right, for the North American title. I would not mind seeing him be a body and give him a tough fight. We'll see how that goes down the road. Um, we'll see. uh, My bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry here. I'm sorry. I said Damon Kim got the win. No, Axiom got the win. My fucking notes here are a little crazy. I'm sorry. Axiom got the win with a roll up. All right. Again, my notes here are a little crazy. But Axiom did get the win with the roll. But I did like the aggressiveness, the way Damon Kemp was throwing them German suplexes on Axiom. But Axiom did get his win. So there was that. Um, we then we go to so then we get these clips, right? Um, we get these clips of Kiana James and Brooke Jensen on their date, right? I guess they went somewhere to eat, what have you, and they're having a good time. They're having a good time, man. I can't be mad at them, right? I would be mad because based on what happened, right? Later on, based on what happened, right? But we'll get to that in a little bit. So we also get a clip of Apollo Crews. He's in his journal. This happened early on in the show. I didn't mention it, but I'll mention it now. He talks about Dabakato, their beginnings, what have you, and how he felt hurt about what happened at Stand and Deliver. My bad, at New Year's Evil. He felt hurt about what happened. And there's that. I mean, it's something for Apollo to do, but I feel like, you got to throw him a win. You got to throw him a win somehow, right? Because if not, you're just gonna have him put over these talents, and yeah, you just don't want to see. You just don't want to see that either. Um, I'm reading the comments here. I like Braun Breaker. Just saying, the match was sloppy, but again, I didn't expect Sasha and Bailey style of a match. Uh, right, Dolores. People forget it's developmental, like Cena Roman. Nobody was great in the beginning. Exactly. That's the point of NXT is developmental. People forget that. Um, so where was I here? Where was I? We get also backstage Grayson Waller yelling out as he's leaving the building and shit like that. So there's that. Um, we then get Braun Breaker. Now, CPZ, let's just say we decided to give this another go. I didn't want to go off in that way. I couldn't do it to myself, man. I couldn't. I couldn't do it. I couldn't leave the way I did last week. You know what I mean? Just we gotta do this again. So here we are. So we get Braun Breaker, the NXT champion. We haven't seen him since New Year's Evil when he beat Grayson Waller inside the steel cage, and he walks it. Now, mind you, I'm doing the watch along. So I have the headphones on as I'm watching this. I have the volume really low. So I can barely hear anything. Because again, I'm on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, and I don't want to fuck up anything for them. I don't want, because my volume is too high, that they get a copyright or some shit like that from WWE. So I try to keep it as low as I possibly could, right? So I wasn't able to hear everything from the whole Braun Breaker segment, but luckily, someone on Twitter posted a video of Braun Breaker getting booed by the people in the building, and they were chanting that he sucks, and that people were just booing him. Period. Right. And I hear this discussion all the time. Oh, Braun Breaker is terrible. He's not the guy. He is, mid. You kind of get the idea. Here's the thing, and I've said this before. Me personally, I like Braun Breaker. That being said, with him, less is good. I've always said this. I don't expect, yes, I get it. He is the NXT champion. He main events these special shows, right? So because you're main eventing, you're supposed to perform at this high standard, what have you. And I get that. But I don't expect him to give me fucking 30 minutes of near falls and back and forth strong style. I don't expect that. With him, I feel like less is good. Is he good on the mic like his uncle? No, he's not. You can work on that. We can work on that. You know, I think this whole thing of him getting booed and all that stuff, it's a matter of he's overstaying his welcome. I believe that come stand and deliver, he'll drop that title. Well, likely to Carmelo Hayes. I even heard people say, "Oh, how come it's not Carmelo Hayes? Carmelo Hayes should have been the day one. Should have been the guy they've been pushing from day one." And I get that too. I like Carmelo Hayes also. I think Carmelo Hayes is fucking amazing. However, I think it's the whole initiative of at that time when they were doing 2.0, right? Remember, oh, we want to push college kids, right? Not no more of the independent talent, what have you. However, again, I think it's just a matter of them over again, Braun Breaker overstaying his welcome. And I do believe when this is said and done, uh, he will make his way up. And I agree with CPZ. Fans got to understand he's a developmental champion. He's gonna be rough around the edges. Exactly. I don't expect him to be Kazuchika Okada off the rip. I don't expect him to say. I don't. Oh, let me another comment here. I like to say Triple H needs to be more involved with NXT because it will make for a better transition to the main. And I agree with that too. But you got to remember, a lot of people put this belief that Shawn Michaels, right? Oh my God, Shawn Michaels, one of the goats of all time, right? One of the greatest of all time, the goats, right? It's in good hands because of Shawn's run as a performer. And 9 times out of 10, just because you were this amazing performer doesn't make you a better coach. You know, I've seen this a lot in sports, especially in soccer. I know. Here we go. A fucking soccer analogy, a soccer conversation on a wrestling review with Steve. I know. Holy fuck. But that's the thing with Braun Breaker. I don't hate the guy. I like him. I think he has a unique look to him. Yes, he looks like his dad, talks like his uncle. However, his uncle, that being Scott Steiner, was amazing on promos, right? But I do think, again, we will get there. Just give it time, folks. Give it time. Yes, technically, when y'all think about it, yo, this past year was his official first rookie year. People got to remember that. Even though, yes, he came in 2021, September, oh, it doesn't count. But to me, he officially completed his first official rookie year and is already a what 2-time NXT champion. Keep that in mind. So from again, he's talking about what's next, and out comes Jinder Mahal. Jinder My Balls comes out with Edo Sheeran, and he's challenging Braun Breaker for a match, and we're gonna get it. We're getting the match, I think, next week. I think so, right? Yeah, we're getting the match next week, I believe. If I'm wrong on that, let me know in the chat. But that's the match is going to go down. Braun Breaker and Jinder Mahal for the NXT Championship. And I think overall they'll have a good match. I think, it's crazy that Jinder Mahal is getting this like fucking homecoming welcoming reception from the audience, right? The same audience that were booing Braun Breaker. Again, this is what I hope they do also with NXT. I hope, yes, they're on the road for these special events, right? Which is great to see. However, I do hope that they do transition to going elsewhere. I get it. It's the performance center, right? They don't have to pay anything to go to, like as if they would. Let's say they rent a venue, right? I get that, but you get the same fans who've seen everything from the very beginning. You know, um, you are right. Thank you, Dolores. If gender faces you for the NXT title, you're the future of WWE. LOL. There you go. And I think they'll have a fun match. I think Braun retains though. I honestly would say this for Roadblock. That's just me, of course. And then you do Carmelo Hayes and Braun Breaker for Stand and Deliver. But that's just me once again. Um, from there, what else we get here? Um, what else we get here? Um, we see Vaughn. Wait, we see Wesley. He's about to do his open challenge, right? And as he's walking to the ring, you see behind him, you see Donovan Dijak, and you see Tony D'Angelo like lurking behind him. And it's like, who's gonna challenge him next? And out comes Tony D'Angelo, but then he gets attacked by Dijak, and then Stacks is like, "What the fuck do I do?" And from behind is Von Wagner, Von Geek, Dork Wagner comes out, steroid up Dolph Ziggler. I have to call him that. And they have a match. And I remember a couple of weeks ago, right? They what was it? Mr. Stone talked about, oh, you got to find who you are, this and whatnot. He gave him a pep talk. So they have the match. The match, and listen, there's a lot of you who probably thought, oh my God, they're going to give Von Wagner the fucking North American title. No, they had a fun match, to be honest. Nothing to go crazy about. But when it was all said and done, Wesley found a way to get the win. Like I said, it's cool to see him as NXT North American champion. I do think, though, that he needs to work a little bit more on his promos. Just like Braun, they'll get there. Don't get me wrong. But I think also, as far as who I want to see challenge him for that title eventually, Damian Kemp. That's me, of course, but we'll see if they ever even do that. We go back to the date of Kiana James and Brooke Jensen. They're about to wrap up. And they're about to end their date. I guess they're at the doorstep of Kiana James's house. And Fallon Henley is so determined to tell Brooke Jensen what's going on. She wants Kiana to tell the truth. And they're about to kiss. Like, they're about to get into it, right? They're about to kiss. And the next thing you know, Fallon Henley ruined everything. Fucking ruined everything. I swear to you, yo.
Fuck!
I'm sure we've seen this before. Like, two people about to kiss. Like, if you guys watch Big Daddy with Adam Sandler, right? Him and Michelle, when he's Sonny, right? They go on a date, right? They're about to kiss, and then the sister ruins everything. Like, yeah, like that almost. If you get that, awesome. But everyone was like, yo, man, Fallon Henley's a big fucking cock block, yo. Because it turns out the person that Kiana James said I love you to and all that stuff was her brother. Her fucking brother. And you can look in the look on Jensen's face said it all. Like, damn, yo, he was about to. I don't know, maybe get a kiss, obviously, but it's Valentine's Day. So he's about to get it in, and she ruined everything. Fucking bullshit, man. Fucking bullshit. On fucking Valentine's Day. Exactly, Safat. Vaughn the Geico caveman is never really going to get over with these therapy sessions are not working. Yes, I think they're bringing talent to NXT to train to help rookies like them. Jinder is a big man who is not a great talker. That too. So we had that. We also had on the show here. Let's see here. We had um we had Hank Walker and Charlie Dempsey. Before the match, Drew Gulak presented Hank Walker with the new gear, a singlet, basically, right? And he also gave him new boots to wear so he doesn't look like a fucking guy who works in the back in production, what have you. Or doesn't look like the fucking superintendent at the school. They had the match. The match, honestly, for what it was worth, um, it was whatever. Charlie Dempsey ended up winning with the submission with the heel trap, bow and arrow. and Hank Walker tapped out. But what really shocked people is that Drew Gulak let the move continue going a little a little more after. Instead of helping Hank Walker, who's a student, he walks out. He walks away with Charlie Dempsey. So there was that. We're kind of like, wow, really, damn. Who didn't see that one coming, right? Holy shit, right? What the fuck? Um, we see commercial. We see Gallus vignette. They're at the bar. They're playing pool and all that stuff. And I guess Pretty Deadly shows up to observe, right? They challenged them to a game of pool and promised the champs a damn good thrashing, right? And Gallus beat them handedly. Pretty Deadly asked for a best of 3 and a title shot on the line, and Gallus are game. And as long as they keep their glasses full, up to 7 games, and Gallus showed no signs of losing. And after Pretty Deadly, look at the tab. And it's about as long as the CVS received, twice as shocking. But Gallus say if they want a title match, they just have to ask, right? Um, Also backstage, we see Ilya Dragunov, who's interviewed. He says his recovery was a difficult path, and he had internal bleeding, but he believes that the pain helps make you feel alive, and informed that JD McDonough is in the hospital with a detached retina, and he says that he this is just the beginning. We see Trick Williams back literally in the ring and will not leave until Ilya meets him face to face. So William keeps an endless stream of trash talk rolling as Dragunov makes his way to the ring, at one point calling him a blue-footed raggedy bum. Ilya says he's very entertaining with all the phrases and rhymes, clearly the life of the party, but he didn't come back to NXT to have fun. Trick felt what it's like to try to keep him away from his mission, and he has no problem. And Williams hit a forearm, and Dragunov drops him with an enziguri. JD McDonough makes his way. He's wearing an eye patch, and this basically, again, he shows up. He tells Ilya that he should have stayed home, and he's gonna force him to show these people exactly what he's capable of. Seeing as he tried to blind him, JD has no problem telling him he'll beat him so badly that he can't hold his son. William blindsides Dragunov and kicks him hard in the ribs. And there you go. There you go with that. We go to commercial. Back from commercial, Carmelo Hayes is backstage hanging out with Trick William, hanging out when Trick rushes in, screaming that he's getting one over on Ilya Dragunov. Hayes points out that he's got Ilya mad, but Trick says he can throw knees, shoulders, fingers, or toes. He's going to find out Williams is the baddest and the prettiest around. So there was that too. We get the main event. We get Roxanne Perez versus Mike. We get Roxanne Perez and Miko Satomura versus Katana Carter and Kate versus Kaden Carter and who else? Who else here? Katana Chance and Kaden Carter versus Miko Satomura and Roxanne Perez. I thought their match was pretty good. Good back and forth. Good near falls here. And it was all said and done, it was good to see Mako Satomura, who had visa issues. To my understanding, she had visa issues, so that's why she couldn't come to the States. But good to see her back. And good to see her and her team get the win. That being Roxanne Perez, who was happy as fuck to team up with this legend, right? It means a lot to her. And she ends up, that being Roxanne, hitting the Pop Rocks on Kaden Carter for the win. So there was that, and you see them celebrating with the title. That being they're celebrating, period, right? And then Miko Satomura gets on the mic and says, "Now what I want you, I did you a favor. I teamed up with you. Now what I want from you is a title match. And Roxanne Perez, hey, it'll be an honor. Now they also announced that Roadblock is coming back. NXT Roadblock will take place on March 7th. I say you do the match there. Do the match at Roadblock. Don't rush it right away. At the same time, I'm sure they'll have this amazing match. And it's a good way for Roxanne Perez to go over. Because you want to show, okay, she overcame adversity at New Year's Evil, right? She beat 2 members of Toxic Attraction and Gigi Dolan and JC Jane. Now you want to see her overcome adversity and facing this legend in Meiko Satomura. So there's that. Again, overall NXT was a solid show. Nothing to go crazy about at all. A good main event. And again, they're building their way towards Stand and Deliver and all that fun stuff. And we have Roadblock coming up. If you have questions for me, feel free to drop them in the comments. I'll be around for a little bit longer. I want to get to at least the 45-minute mark. So if you have questions, feel free to drop in your questions right now. Okay? I'm also going to be checking out what's going on in the socials. What's going on here? What's popping, if you will. Let me see here. By the way, Montez Ford got some last night. Yeah, he did. I'm sure he did on Valentine's Day. After all, he's eating good, man. God is good, right? God is good. So there's that also. Yeah. Guys, if you have questions, feel free to drop in your questions right now in the chat. Feel free to. Let me see here. What's the point of Grayson Waller working an angle with Shawn Michaels if it's not leading to a match? That's what I want to know too. I mean, there's people that believe it'll be a match. There's people that think, oh my God, they're going to have this amazing bonkers of a match. And I just don't think so, man. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think for what it's worth, it's something to get Grayson Waller over as if he needs it, and to get some heat after going off on a legend, in this case being Shawn Michaels. But yeah, I mean, there's no point to it. They're not going to have a match unless Shawn Michaels picks someone to represent him. And if that's the case, I can only think of one person, Johnny Gargano. If you guys remember, when Gargano left NXT, Grayson Waller took him out. So it'll be very fitting in a way. It'll be very fitting if that's the case. But we shall see if they even go that route. I don't know, but again, it's only a matter of when it ever happens, if it even happens, period, right? I see. Again, guys, if you have more questions, feel free to drop them in now. Drop in your questions. Again, in case you guys don't know also, tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern time, 1 p.m. Eastern, Caden will go live with the predictions for New Japan's Battle in the Valley. That's going to be live tomorrow here on this channel at 1 p.m. Eastern time. And then at 3 p.m., myself, Big Mike, and probably Caden too, will go live with Sad, Something About Dynamite. And then Friday, 10 p.m., the flagship show, Around the Point, will be going live with our predictions for Elimination Chamber. And then we'll review it on Monday on Steve's Kitchen. Is Braun Breaker leaving NXT? Is Braun Breaker leaving NXT take a huge hit to the brand? I don't think so. I think NXT they're going to be in good hands. They still have Carmelo Hayes. And I think for Carmelo, it's going to be difficult for him to showcase again, we know how good he is. But for him to show completely his final form, all he can do, it's difficult when you have Braun Breaker there on top. You know, and I think once Braun is on his way to the main roster, which I do think will happen once we hit post WrestleMania, is going to be Carmelo's brand. And I look forward to that. But at the same time, when Carmelo's champ, you gotta have some bodies to work with. You gotta have some bodies. Think about this, right? Carmelo Hayes versus Tyler Bate. Carmelo Hayes versus damn, I can only name one person. That's sad. Tyler Bate. I can only name you one fucking person right now. That's fucking sad. But we shall see. We'll see what they end up doing here, if that makes any sense here. Also, well, checking my parlay here. God damn it! These guys stop fucking around. Again, guys, tomorrow, if you're new here, hit the subscribe button down below. Give this a big old thumbs up. Share it through social media. All right. Follow me on Twitter at Heel Steven. Also, this Saturday is Chilling with Chase. Time to be determined. But yeah, go make sure you guys check that out this Saturday also here on the channel. That's right, man, because I'm doing the show alone, man. Hey, man, someone's got to do it, man. Someone's got to do it. Where do you see Dragon Lee fitting into this stuff? He could be in the mix. Do I say bring him in and have him fucking go right after the NXT Championship? No, but I do think him being there, it can be into the mix. Put him in there for the North American Championship. Knowing WWE, if Vince was still around, put him with Axiom, because why not, right? I know NXT is not what it used to be, but there's some pretty good stuff going on. And I agree, there are some good stuff going on at NXT. Again, it's people need to understand the black and gold is dead. It's passe now. We moved on. And now this is what they wanted NXT to be. Developmental at the way they want it to be. And that's what it is. This is what they have, and that's what it's going to be. So there's that too. All right. I have time for maybe one or two more questions, and then I'm going to put a bow on this. So if you guys have any more questions, one or two more questions, then I'm going to put a bow on this. All right. CPZ writes here, if Jay White comes to WWE, would NXT be the brand to benefit from getting him to go there first, or straight to the main roster? I think with him, the reality is, had this been black and gold NXT, the NXT from 2015, 16, even though at that point he was still a young boy, he was still on excursion, right? He would have had this version of Jay White. That is, right, that we've seen in New Japan tear it up. Been in that NXT, been a whole different ballgame. However, I do think there's some talents that are the exception. And I do think Jay White will make his way to the main roster once he comes up to NXT. Because can you imagine this? Imagine had they put Jay White, the Switchblade, right? The guy who wrestled Okada, right, at Wrestle Kingdom in the Tokyo Dome. The same Jay White who will claim that he sold out Madison Square Garden, right? That same Jay White. And you put him in this NXT and he's fucking wrestling, I don't fucking know, Axiom. right? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine him working a match with Ikeman Jiro? Is he still employed?
Fuck!
I don't think that's happening. I think him right away, main roster. That's how we doing it. All right, y'all. Listen, read another comment here. Jay White is most likely main roster ready. I agree, 100%. Maybe night after WrestleMania. We'll see. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna wrap things up. We'll put a bow on this. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I did say under 45. I went over by a minute and change. It is what it is. Thank you guys for tuning in today. I went at it alone. All right. I didn't go crazy. I didn't lose my shit. All right, but here we are. We'll be back. We'll be back live tomorrow here on the Around the Point Network at 3 p.m. with Sad, something about Dynamite. However, also at 1 p.m. Eastern, because at 1 p.m. Eastern time, Caden will be going live and predicting New Japan's Battle in the Valley at 1 p.m. Eastern here on the channel. And then at 3 p.m., we'll be going live with Sad, something about Dynamite, the AEW Dynamite review. And then Friday at 10 p.m., the flagship show Around the Point, where we will be previewing and predicting Elimination Chamber. And then Saturday, it's going to be chilling with Chase here on the channel. And then Saturday will be live, I think, on the True Heel Heat Wrestling channel and doing the watch along for Chamber and also Battle in the Valley. And then Monday, live with Steve's Kitchen, we'll be reviewing all this stuff. All right. But thank you guys for tuning in today. If you're new here, once again, hit that subscribe button. All right. We go live almost every day. I almost didn't go live today, but I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. We got to do it. It has to be done. Here we are. All right. Follow me on Twitter at Heel Steven. All right. Thank you guys as always. You guys have been awesome. All right. The fucking gang. We love you all. All right. I am Steve. This has been Let's Talk NXT here on the Around the Point Network. Thank you guys and have a good day. Enjoy Dynamite. We'll see you guys tomorrow for not only the New Japan Battle and the Valley prediction, but also for Sad here on the Around the Point Network. Good night, everybody.
Thank you. Fuck you. Bye.